Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Please, please tell me you hear me now. Dre Pete in the building. What it do? Let me say all that again if you weren't hearing me. Crazy. Um, Dre Pete, good evening. DC, love. You asked. Hope all is well. Hope you're well. I'm well. I'm better. Was better. Was worse for a spell. Things are getting okay. Um, Andrew, I got to shout you out again. Big up, Vader, my guy. Dudley, good evening, Vader. Thank you so much. You can hear me now. Everything's like nice and clear. Hopefully the intro played out well. I gotta say this. Out of practice for a bit. So the sound problems, comical, classic, right? But thanks for helping me out. Gonna be a tricky start to the season. Dre, it already is. It already is. I'm gonna do reverse order. And Mo in the building. Big up Vader, my guy. Canadian citizens, we are live. We are live, and we have to be. But I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna deal with this first. All right. I'm gonna deal with this first so that everything's all on the table and we deal with it appropriately. So I'm gonna do this personal note. Let me deal with the personal note first. Okay. So I've been MIA for the majority of the last 2 weeks because I suffered a stupid, a very stupid, silly injury. I took the kids I took the kids to an outing. I had a really good friend of mine came up from the UK, came up from London actually, and his wife and son came up. So it was just a whole outing, and it's like the whole venue is netting. It's like it's huge netting that you kind of walk on. Not quite trampoline, but it's very similar. And like a dummy, rather than doing the little moonwalking, bouncing, just kind of walking like a dummy, I'm trying to jump to the sky. All right. My name's Vader for a reason, short for elevator, and stupid was just jumping way too high. I ended up jumping at the same time of someone either jumping or bouncing at the same time on the netting, and then at the point of where I was bracing myself to kind of like jump again, my knee gave out. So my left knee gave out. I have, or I had, I should say, I had a 90% tear in my quad. So all of you right now, and it wasn't painful. So for any of you that might be a little squirmish if I'm telling this, it wasn't painful. It just happened really quickly. But if you guys are sitting right now, just if you're sitting right now, put your hand right above your knee. Do like a leg extension. Do that. Put your hand right above your knee there. That thing that kind of gives. That's what tore on me. So long story short, surgery, been recovery. I've been on um, I've been on pain meds throughout the surgery or post surgery, and then but again, me and pain meds don't don't click. So I didn't want to come, I didn't want to come on and do a show and just be like loopy or out of it. So I thought I was good. I pushed the show a couple days. I thought it was good. Didn't happen. I pushed the show a couple days later. So apologies if it was annoying or inconvenient to some of you. It was definitely not my intent. But yeah, I'm recovering. So it's going to be several weeks. I have like what's called an immobilizer that's really pretty much locked up my leg. Like it's got like metal rods on the side and on the back of my leg, and then I Velcro straps. So there's like 6 straps to lock in my leg. So it's right here. Obviously I can't sit with my legs bent. So one leg right now is just it's like off to the side right here, onto some cushion. So I'm dealing with that, or I've dealt with that. So that's been the issue or the drama so far. But I'm going to do my best to again be mad consistent with regards to us talking Manchester City and this league, because my time away, what is going on? What's happening? The fan base, like the stresses, the dramas. Are we forgetting we're coming off a three-peat treble? Why is the stress here? Three-peat treble. Why is the stress? Why the stress? Now we'll get into it. We'll talk about all of that stuff. Um, and thank you within the comments, and all those of you that didn't know that something was up but reached out to me with regards to the DMs. Very very thankful and appreciative. Very very grateful for that. Yeah. So let me actually go to these comments real quick. So Dre P goes, complete ruptures aren't usually painful, just really difficult and usually require surgery. Yeah, Dre P, it was 90%, 90%, um, 90% separated or ruptured, and fluke, like the doctor said, like, how did you hurt this? Like, what were you doing? So it was just nonsense. Dre also goes, glad to see you recovered. Could have been worse. Wish you all the best. Yeah, could have been worse. Could have been worse. And it happened maybe like 45 minutes into the paid like experience. So I hop off to the side. I sit down by the bench. They give me ice and I wrap up my leg, and I'm like still like intently watching the kids. I still want them to play, but obviously play safer than me. And made sure that we got our money's worth. So that was part of it. Yeah, no, you're right. Complete ruptures. But man, they and at the time they asked me, did I hear a pop or anything like that? There were like kids like screaming and jumping around. I really didn't hear anything. The biggest part was also just also realizing and remembering the feeling of like not shock but adrenaline. Like there was like like there was a fight or flight reaction with like that injury, and it was like uncanny to like also remember that type of feeling that obviously haven't happened in many days. Like I've been a civilian um for so long. So Mo, exactly, our fan base is so reactionary. Trust Pep. Mo, we are going to get into it. So fully charged up was how this was first designed show wise, because listen, I took my time. We won that Champions League. I was chill. Nothing got to me. Nothing. You could say anything about the club. You could talk bad about KDB. You could say how Holland didn't show up. You could talk about why wasn't Foden why was Foden so inconsistent throughout the season. I didn't care. You know what? All those things you listed, team effort. We got that trouble on a three-peat. Can't Nothing was phasing me. Now I'm charged up, and a little bit of this is also, Drake. Why did I say Jake? Drake inspired as well, right? So Drake had back to back, he had a thing going, and obviously this treble though, the way we did it, the heritage teams that we had to go through, right? Like I was just, I was just amped, and I was so happy for the club, right? So I'll admit, I'll admit, I I was strung out on compliments. I was strung out on compliments. Could say I overdosed on confidence. You could have said all of that. I started not like I said, I didn't care about what anybody said. I started not to care about what anyone said, and I stopped caring about the consequences. I was like, whatever. We won this. You can't tell me nothing. Um, did I drink every night? No, I didn't drink every night, but I did make it a point to acknowledge all of the accomplishments. It was one of those, man. It was a headline summer. It was a headline summer. So coming back to this, and then the season kind of kicks off. We know we always do things a little slow with regards to, our off season or preseason matches, right? It's always Pep's got a plan. He knows all the games that are going to be leading up. He's like, you know what, we're pacing ourselves. We're not gonna come out the blocks like blazing. We're not going to do that. So it was nice. It was calm. And when I also say that, like, humble three-peat trouble winners, is that an oxymoron? Like, can you be humble with it? If there's a fan base that can be humble after winning a three-peat trouble, it's us. And if there's going to be a portion of the fan base that are going to remain humble or not, I will be the ones on the humble side. I'll be humble with it. It's not something that's going to happen all the time, but I'm gonna take it. I'm cool with it. I don't need to put it in your face, because I understand that you have your history, or you have your goals that you're trying to get to. Maybe you're an Arsenal fan, you've never won the Champions League. I don't need to throw that in your face. That's a goal of yours that you're going to pursue. Maybe you're a team like Chelsea that have won Champions League, but you've never done a trouble, right? You've never done a three-peat. So that's not something that I need to throw in your face. I'm just confident in my team, and I'm gonna be cool with it. If you come to me with heat, what kind of heat you got for me? I just want a three-peat trouble. So humble is the whole movement. And when we're humble, we want to then continue winning. To say we want to then, I think it's not humble to say we now have a trouble. Now we go for a quad. Like, that's just crazy. But to be humble and still want winning, you still want like a major trophy. Calm. You want to move that way. That's cool. So when I'm seeing, and I'm gonna get to the comments. I see you guys. When I see how the stress levels in this transfer window were like going like this, people are losing their minds, and then for me getting this injury, and then seeing how we played in the Community Shield. I wanted that win. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted the win. Went penalties. What it is, what it is. But I wanted that. There was still no meltdown because of what I saw from the team. There was still no overly critical of the players that we have. But I did say this. And this is going to lead me to the next point, and I'm going to get to the comments. It did lead me to, like, listen, we have to accept all of the exits and like arrivals. We have to accept that players are leaving, players are going. And I was also, listen, yes, we are favorites. I'm not going to shy away. I'm not going to deny that. When you're a three-peat trouble winner with players to have gotten that experience, right? They've had that experience. And for young players that still want more, I'm like, yo, we're in really good shape. No denying we got the best manager in the world. No denying we've got the best fan base in the world. Why not move on? Why not push on, right? And obviously the board and everything like that. But this club can do it. So I can be confident in that. But the the exits we just had to like really, really, really chill with and kind of accept. And I know it was stressful, but when we have these exits, it's the cycle of life. I said this, I know, probably last season during the transfer window and the season before that. It's the cycle of the football life. Players go, players come. It just happens to be what it is. When I saw the list of players to go, accepting that we are favorites, but knowing the threat level that meant. When it looked like it was going to be, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker, Laporte, Cancelo. Am I missing one? Mahrez. When it looked like those players were going, I was like, "Woo, it's gonna be tough." And then when I'm looking and I'm seeing the spend from Arsenal, I'm seeing how Arsenal, and we'll get into that little. We see how Arsenal are spending, and then that was even before Chelsea were spending. Now, mind you, Chelsea's selling too, but the way Chelsea was spending, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So let me get to the topic because I know I'm all over the place. I'm out of practice, real quick. Let me go. Mo, yeah, Mo reminds exactly. Our fan base is so reactionary. Trust Pep. They gotta trust Pep. They gotta trust the board. There's no need to like have these overreactions, especially when it's this point in the season. Why are we doing this? Why are we having these meltdowns? Unless the meltdowns make sense if you don't believe Pep or the board / club will get it right. If you don't believe that they will, meltdowns make complete sense. They make complete sense. I'm with you. La Ciel Bleu, my guy, what it do? High Blues, good looking out. I'm a little behind on the comments. Dre P, I'm not stressing. I don't think it's realistic to win every year, but I want to see a good attempt at defending the title. And with all comps, the squad is thin. You're right. We could never expect to win every year. I also don't like when you kind of look at the expiry date or the contract, the end of a contract term, and you're like, we only have Pep for 2 years. We have to win now. We have to do as much winning as we can now because Pep's here. I'm like, no, you gotta be consistent with how you take the approach towards winning, and continue to build off of that. Not like, oh, we also almost have to like dump everything and just go for broke right now. Push all the chips in the table and let's go. I don't think that's the right approach. To me, performance doesn't matter in cup finals. Just need a result. We have all year to worry about the performance. Mo, sometimes in a cup performance, you can't be overcritical about the performance. And especially this is oh, yeah. I want to do this on another show. Mo, I want to do this on another show. Hear me out. For those of you that are boxing fans or MMA fans, right? I'm going to do a proper, and maybe it's when Haaland gets announced for UEFA Player of the Year, hopefully, all right? But I want to do a proper Haaland appreciation. Right? I want to do a proper Haaland appreciation because, and the reason why I use the fighting analogy is because your opponent may choose to take away your left hook. Your opponent may choose to take away maybe your power punch, right? They may make a point to take that away, maybe how they shift, how they move into you, maybe how they maybe approach you attacking wise with jabs, or just how they defend against you. They're going to take away maybe one of your strongest punches. That's how I watch the game of football with regards to Haaland. Like, yeah, I have the luxury of watching at home. I record them. I watch them sometimes 2-3 times. It's when you watch it live, yeah, you get the vantage points of obviously seeing more than what's on screen, right? Because sometimes the coverage doesn't show everything. But I pay really close attention to the criticism of players and I watch them on the playback, right? So when it comes down to like a now final, right? Because we know Holland delivers against big opponents, right? But when they want to be extra critical of Holland with regards to cups and how he performed in finals and want to say that he ghosted, I love the fact that we have Holland as a weapon because the opponent has to commit. The opponent has to commit not one and sometimes not just two players to him, right? They're going to take away our left hook or our power punch. They're going to take that away. He's still going to do his job. He's still going to provide the movement. He's still going to be a threat. But and again, my left hook or my power punch, you're going to take that away. It's still a threat, but you're going to take it away as best you can. Now, what do I have to do? I got to use my other weapons to get the win because something else is going to be available. There's a counter to a counter. So when you choose to take away Holland and you're going to commit 1, 2, sometimes 3 players, you're going to clog a middle. You're going to expose other players to have to step up and give them the freedom. Now, what I love to see what happened in the Super Cup, they're going to choose. We're not going to let Holland have a field day against us. We're gonna make things difficult to how you get the ball to him. And because you make that commitment, there's going to be avenues, options elsewhere. It's about the players elsewhere on the sides, possibly, maybe the ones that can maybe carry the ball a little further, make themselves threats to then be a weapon, to then take the opportunity. We saw what Cole Palmer did. We saw what he did. And that's a reaction to what opponents are doing to us. But I like that problem. I like the problem that you have to worry about him as opposed to not having a threat centrally like that. So, hey, I'm gonna do this proper. I'm going to have a show. Holland appreciation. I'm gonna be shameless with it in terms of I'm gonna bring you some really good examples on why you want to quote unquote say man's ghosting, but you're committing 2, 3 players to him. Many want to argue with regards to they want to downplay what Kyle Walker did against Mbappe, right? Kyle Walker didn't shut down Mbappe. They want to talk about the entire system shut down Kylian Mbappe. But as a result, where was the attack from, from England? That's the point right there and there. Okay, Mbappe didn't ghost. Mbappe was no less of a player, but when you have so much committed to him, others on the team need to step up and deliver. Same case here. Like some of the intelligence, man. CIA intelligent agendas. It's coming back, man. It's coming back. Has to. We got to do things proper. Mo. Oh, sorry. No logic. I'm gonna say logic. How do you feel about if Paqueta and Doku join? How do I feel? If they join, club sees them as important and needed players, right? And obviously, if they join, it's because we need to have that additional depth, and on top of that, maybe it's also an improvement quality. But that's something that we need to wait and see how things work out. But the addition of those 2 players, again, we haven't been splashing the cash. City have not been splashing the cash. So if they go out and get these players, and the market's kind of out of whack a little bit, if they happen to be, those are high tickets versus what we would normally expect to pay for them. It is what it is, but we've got a difficult season. We've got the biggest target on our backs this year. Three-peat trouble winners. And you think clubs like Arsenal, United, Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool are going to let us easily go for a 4th? You think they're going to let us easily go for the 4th? Nah, so we gotta strengthen, especially with this little injury bug that's happening within the squad right now. And honestly, the injury bug isn't too surprising given how many games we played last season, the intensity that was required of them. And again, like endurance is not just physical, it's also mental. And sometimes when your mental fatigue can actually influence the body and you get some injuries. So yeah, those two joining the club, it'd be great to see how quickly they can get up to speed. But if the club looks to get them, it means we need more bodies. We need more bodies. Dre P, the Community Shield was a joke. The added time was appealing to the media darlings. I haven't seen any City game since with that much added time. Arsenal was good, but City were better after 90. Listen, that extra time was comical to me. It actually worried me because I was the Community Shield. I was like, damn, are all remaining games going to be like this? Like, are we going to be looking at 8, 9 minutes extra time on a regular? Because the amount of time added in the first half and the second half, I didn't think really added up. I don't stop watching it, but it seemed a little excessive to me. And again, if Arsenal fans want to think that they've got that mental issue now gone, they gotta win over City. If they want to take any learnings from the Community Shield like it was meaningful, cool. I'm sure you not United fans, Ten Hag did the same thing when he beat Arsenal in their preseason game. Like, so yeah, take it for what it is. When we do meet up, I think that's going to be proper. We're going to be meeting up obviously without a KDB. So you don't get a win with us not having KDB. Yeah, watch out. La Ciel Bleu, performance does not matter in playoff, but winning. Hey, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. Especially when it comes down to tactics and it comes down to how teams set up. I'm 100%. If if listen, managers are smart, man. Managers, especially in a one-off, they're going to be like, listen, I'm going to take away your best weapon. I'm going to take away what you like to do best. You're going to have to beat me another way. Like it's simple. So I don't get hung up with, you know, being critical of players that maybe don't have typical performances when you know that teams have shifted to make them have more difficult games. Dre P, Paqueta is a multi-positional player. Yeah, I agree with you. He's a versatile player. Like he's a pep player. City were linked to him last season. Um, he's coming from Lyon, right? Before he had joined, I think City were interested. I think you're right, Dre. Not a new target. Pep should get the best out of him. I'm with you, Dre P. I'm with you. I think it'd be interesting to kind of see what kind of grit he has. You know, like if he gets stuck in like Silva in a way, I need to pay a little more attention to that. But hey, all the rumors are saying he's coming to City, so yeah, make that happen. Yo, man, I'm just trying. And again, if I find that I'm losing a little bit, I might cut the show. I might cut the show short because I am taking pain meds in between of things. So I still want to be coherent. And I found that I've been a little off. Like my train of thought. If there's a point I was wanting to make or I made, and then I was like going off. So forgive me if I ramble on a little bit. La Ciel Bleu goes first 6 years of Pep with beautiful football, didn't win in Europe. And I would also argue we still played beautiful football when we won Europe. You know what I mean? La Ciel Bleu, I would still argue there was just, I think the shift was just a, a greater emphasis on not putting ourselves at risk offensively. So just more secure defensively for sure. Dre P, agree, Blue. I still think the Centurion team with Sane, Aguero, Sterling was deadlier than the Trouble version. Trouble version was just better at defending, in my opinion. Yeah, not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Recently, I saw It was kind of like those back in the day or on this day games, and it was when Sane went off on Liverpool, right? Sane was just all over the place. But even while watching that, he gave the ball away a lot. Like he was tacking, right? So he was very aggressive. He's in attack mode. Gave up the ball a few times, but that aggressiveness was like, whoo. And then he got that goal, kind of just on the ground, hit that post. It was just beautiful. Klilnical in the building, my guy. If you have not subscribed to Klilnical, do so. Great growing channel. Get that man. I don't know what the subs are at right now, but get that man to. If you to my channel, sub to his channel, man. Sub to his channel. Get those subs up and check him out. I love what he's doing over there. Klilnical, the Jamaican citizen, goes, I get not overreacting about the performance, but in terms of breaking down the game, you kind of do have to give that criticism. Klilnical criticism, yes. Perspective on it is August. Why the meltdown from some? Why the we are going to be trashed this season? We're not retaining the title. Like that's where I think things are at. But again, some fans run hot. Some fans run hot in terms of how they react to things. Yeah, hope that made sense. At Dre P, I agree. I love that Centurion team was devastating. Listen, the Centurion team, the reason why it was also devastating was because like that was year 2 for Pep. That was year 2 for Pep, and things were like clicking. It was sick. It was sick, and the speed was nasty. Listen, partial Jamaican. Speed's in my DNA. Like I loved the speed that I was seeing out there, and they were terrifying. They were terrifying. LFC Red Forever channel or LRFC. What it do? Big up, Vader. I hope all is well. Listen, things are better now. In recovery mode. We'll make sure this quad heals up really well, so the elevator won't be grounded. I'll be back to to reach into the sky, but properly. Not jumping off trampolines or anything like that. But no, all's good. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. All right, I gotta. Okay, let me. Where was I? Where are the fans? Yeah. All right, let me do this because I want to make sure that I do this properly. All right, put that on screen and. Vader game. Okay, I have to say this. Whether you're a City fan local, you're a City fan far away, you're a City fan young, you're a City fan old. I see it doesn't matter. I see the same reactions to things, man. I see the one that's a little guarded, pessimistic, and being like, what are we doing this season? Look at all the players that are leaving. What's going to happen with the start of the year? We're going to get blasted by Newcastle. We're probably going to suffer a terrible home loss. How we're building up play with the current players. Like what's going on? Whether you're near or far, young or old, new fan, old fan, I'm seeing those similar takes. There's no distinction with regards to where you're from or what your background is or anything like that. How you taking the team. There's no distinction. It's kind of universal. And I want to say this. I've seen old school fans to some of the new school fans to local in Manchester fans to those that are abroad, those that have gone to games, not gone to games, have the reaction like, what is City doing? The reaction to, we need more players. We, new or old, we can't have the current squad deliver us success. We need like was mentioned earlier, we need those 2 rumor players in now ASAP. What's taking so long? The players that we have right now are not good enough. Like, listen, I think it does a little bit of a disservice fan wise when we emphasize. And again, let me take that back because I do want to be clear. Yes, maybe you've heard it from a certain fan base, local, abroad, young, old, but I don't think you need to make the point to say local or abroad, young, new, or old, because I'm hearing it everywhere. I'm hearing it everywhere. And I think we just need to chill, guys. We just need to chill. We got 2 more weeks in this transfer window. We know who's rumored to come into the club. We're still not sure who's leaving. The rumors seem to be changing every day. But the fact that we have an injured KDB, tough, tough, devastating. Um, I was saying earlier that KDB was expected maybe come back in December. This was before his comeback or before even playing in the preseason and playing. And I was like, shoot, everything I'm hearing is like based off of his recovery, he should be coming back in like December. Now it turns out that he's going to now have the surgery, and that recovery is going to be even later. So we might not get him until like the business end of the season. And then there's him being up to game speed and all that kind of stuff. But there's KDB's injury. The fact that we've been able to retain Walker and Silva, huge, huge, huge. The fact that we were able to, that's a payment. The fact that we were able to keep Silva and Walker, big. That's going to be so important for us. And then I'm going to do, you know what? I'm going to do a breakdown based off of squads, like who I think our main 11 may be and who I think, quote unquote, are the backup 11 and who's going to be looking to get their first team play. But we just need to calm down. We just need to calm down. Let me go to the comments. I know I'm a little behind. Dre P goes, I watch Brazil at every chance. Yeah, no, for sure. Even the women's. Oh, big ups. Paqueta has a tenacity that is unique. He doesn't hold Brazil back attacking wise, but does work to free up Neymar. Yeah, I can see that. Sorry, I gotta shift my leg. He's I can see that, especially in terms of like how the team set up. You know what I mean? Like the ball needs to get to certain key players, and I saw that, you know, Paqueta did defer more, and we'll see whether he takes on more of a leadership role, because I think that's going to be asked of him, right? When he joins us. Lacia Blur goes, there must be reason Paqueta is always in first 11 for Brazil. Yeah, 100%. Franklin, you back? Been a minute. Welcome. Time to take on the world. Listen, Franklin. It's been tough, guy. It's been tough. It's been tough, but I'm back. I don't think I'll do a show tomorrow. We play on Saturday. I hope I can get the crew together. We do a show on Sunday. I want to do an early CIA, but really when I want to kick off like official CIA, where we go in depth. The transfer window's closed September 3rd. It's at the bottom. You see it right there. It's at the bottom. September 3rd, that's going to be a special CIA because, listen, transfer windows are done. It's going to be squad versus squad, and we're going to go in. We're going to properly say, you know what? Here's who's finishing first in the league. Here's who's second. Here's who's third, and so on. We're going to do that. CIA, you know, we go in. We go in. Intelligent agendas. We're going to go in on that one. So, yeah, we're back, man. We're back. Dre, Paqueta isn't Gundogan, but he does a Gundo type role for Brazil, in my opinion. I'm with you. Lacia Bleu, Vader. Am I close? North York. Yo, I am North York. Listen, Lacia Bleu, do you know where Drake lives? Like, do you know if you know where Drake lives? I am less than 10 minutes drive. So if you know that radius, I'm less than 10 minutes drive. So yeah. Mo, not worried. I can't see anyone else dethroning us. The four-peat is inevitable next season. when it's Pep's last will be the worry. See, Mo, I don't want to jinx anything here. I think Manchester City and Pep do these 2-year extensions to give hope to rivals. I think being the historian that Pep is, being the winner that he is, right? Like, we know he's driven. We know he wants to win. We know that he's often searched for the working environment that could be like long lasting for him. Some try to speculate because maybe don't quite have that overly aggressive winning attitude, which we know he has. Like, to say he's a perfectionist, I think that's kind of easy. It's a little bit of a cop out, but for someone that wants to demand the best out of himself and he sees talent in you or he sees talent in players, and like, listen, there's more there. Let's get to it. If you want it, let's go get it. I'm a push you to get it. And if you don't want it, you're going to show that you don't want it. Like, that's how he's kind of wired. But I think he does these 2-year extensions just like, again, to keep everybody on the balls of their feet, everybody sharp. But I don't think next year is Pep's last year. I think there's that announcement Pep extends for another 2+1 or something like that. He's currently the manager with the second most trophies, like big trophies. Sir Alex Ferguson is out there. I think he still has 13 more than Pep, and obviously that's a longevity thing. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm not too worried about next year being Pep's last year. But in terms of teams to challenge us to dethrone us, the way Arsenal spent this transfer window, Mo, aggressive, man. And if you talk to those Arsenal fans, right? You talk to some of those Arsenal fans, whether it's on socials or on YouTube, you know what I mean? They believe the only thing that cost them was Saliba being injured. Like, they thought they had the team to win last year, and it was only an injury. So, healthy, they believe they're winning the league. Strengthening, which they did, bringing in players, right? At the time, record signings, no longer a record signing because of Conceição. But Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Timber, unfortunately, he's injured. Raya, another keeper who they believe is better than Ramsdale. I'm forgetting someone, but yeah, they're strengthening. Arsenal, I'm not too sure about Liverpool. They have the experience, but I don't know if they're going to have the depth in terms of players. Chelsea, I think Poch is going to surprise a lot of people. United, dethroning us right now, it's Arsenal. Arsenal and Chelsea are the ones that I'm like, ooh, Newcastle as well. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm not ready to do that just yet because the transfer window is not closed. Cap, I remember these conversations about City falling off last season. Look how that turned out for everyone. That's what I'm saying, Cap. Like, why the freak out? Like, why the if we continue in this form, we're not going to continue in this form. It was game 1, game 2. Pep, different back four, like injured, no KDB, no Ruben Diaz, no Bernardo Silva. Come on, man. Come on. I do like how Pep had a Kanji playing a role that I didn't expect to see from him, and how further up the pitch. I think he can do it. I mean, obviously, him delivering that cutting pass versus the Inter in Champions League, I think there's more there. Sorry, even no injured John Stones. Stones didn't play either. But listen, we're going to be okay, man. We're going to be okay. Andrew, we are the citizens. That's why we think the same. We know what it takes to win. It's true. It's true. But what I want to emphasize was you could close your eyes. You could close your eyes, not even know who's speaking, and they kind of have the same stress, the same cityitis, the same. It's going to be a disaster season. There's like, yeah, it's all over the place, man. Dre, KDB is going to be like a new signing next year. A fresh KDB tends to hit the ground running and could realistically finish the season as the best player in the world. I think I saw that KDB might miss like 90% of the league this year, like of Premier League games. So yeah, it's like that's like a year off his body. And I don't know if it's been hamstrings that have kind of hindered him last year and the year prior because he did have some stints of injury, right? But a healthy KDB, it's going to hit like a new signing, and he'll be watching because when he was injured last time, he was still on the sideline in a way, giving coaching and giving some advice to the players. So I think KDB on that sideline, the mental understanding might reach next levels. Andrew, we have time, and remember, Akanji signed with no rumors, and look how he's doing. Yo, Akanji was a late signing and debuted in the Champions League. Didn't miss a step. I'm with you, Andrew. I'm with you. We need more of that. Let's hitting the microphone. Let's all calm down. Let's just calm down. We got some time. Then we move. Let's see. Okay, you know what I'm saying. All right, so yeah, we're pretty close. I hope you're right, and he stays for a long time. Mo, listen, Mo. Anything Pep related, listen. Anything Pep related, we need to yo, Pep, you the man. Yep, I hear what you're saying, Pep. Keep working at it. We know you're working hard. We know you want maybe a little more vocal fans. I know you want the fans to maybe take all competitions. It is difficult. Sometimes fans are making choices financially. They're not able to be to all the games. But hey, Pep, you got the support. 2 more years, sign that extension. Yep. 3 more years, you sign that extension. Yep. Let's go get it. How amazing would it be? If Pep at Manchester City has us third in terms of trophy list, club trophies, right? If we surpass Chelsea, Arsenal, and then the only 2 clubs ahead of us would be Liverpool and United, or should I say United and Liverpool? Incredible. Come on, Pep. I wouldn't be shocked if Pep leaves and returns 5. What, Dre? What do you mean leaves and returns 5 years? Why? Why the leave and return? Nah, he's good. Listen, this is the thing. The longevity of Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. Stay in the groove. Like don't you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? If he leaves and he guys got to come back and got to sort. No. Continue to manage. Maybe bring on another assistant coach if you need to do that. But listen. You got those examples. You saw how long they stayed at the club. Let's do the same thing, man. I hope Pep hits that 10-year mark. I at least need... Yo, Klilnical, 10 years? Easy. Pep, do 10 years. Put that on the bulletin board. This is what he's driving to. Here's how many trophies he wants to get. You know how he's going to be looking at the quality of football and what he wants to maybe expand on. If you're not like on City Plus, check out City Plus. The Pep Effect. There's mad documentaries coming out this year. You know that after a 3-peat trouble, there's mad documentaries. The Pep Effect. Check that out. It's wicked. Dre, Arsenal spent, but Timber, a big signing, is out, maybe longer than KDB. It's true. Dre. That was a tough injury. He started to bother me. Andrew, Pep hunting Fergie record 13 premieres, and oh, and he is that far. Okay, 13 premieres. Yeah, we got to go for those 13 Premier Leagues. Andrew, I like that. We need to talk that up. Le Ciel Bleu. Oh, actually, when I say we don't need to talk that up because we know that the counter forces against that are going to be strong. Referees, VAR is going to be against us. There's going to be more games they're going to have us play in 3 days. Like the league's not going to look out for us. So maybe we promote more so. We big up Pep in terms of staying at the club versus the trophy tally in a way because we know they're against us. La Ciel Bleu goes, rumors are that Saudi League will be after the best managers next year. Best managers. You know what? Depends on the spending, man. The thing is, every person wants to do better for their family, right? So it may not be a professional pursuit why they would go Saudi League. It might be more of a case of the incentives or the benefits financially, but I think it's going to be a unique one because there's no more eyes on any league than there is the Premier League. Like, trust me, when this next TV deal comes out, you'll see just how big the Premier League is. But the best managers, that's going to be tough. And if that is the case, Le Ciel Bleu, we're going to have a combo because I like the Saudi League. I really do like the Saudi League. I like that quality players are being pulled from us as well as other clubs. Because then you're still going to have to be even better with your network of players. If managers are leaving as well, and you're maybe now having to compete versus lesser managers because the better ones have been pulled out of Saudi, like let's retain our quality, our talent, and let's go after it. Trust me on that one. All right, let me do this. I got to put this on screen. Vader game. So I kind of said this earlier, and I just want to make sure I made a proper kind of like timestamp on it. But listen, the rivals are powering up. The rivals are spending. And they have to. Because I don't think any of them want a four-peat on their heads. None of them want a four-peat on their heads. So I think this is going to be the most challenging and difficult season. And if we happen to defend it, obviously it just gets greater. But this season is going to be it's the toughest because mentally the players are going to be trying to win again off of a three-peat, and it's a trouble, and it's knowing that the season's long, and maybe some of them might be like, listen, how do I really need to like go all out versus Luton away and knowing that I got to play them again later in the season, like, kind of athletes kind of pick their moments. That's where Pep is actually magic, right? Because he doesn't allow for any of that. But it is going to be a tough season, especially with how these rivals are moving. But I like it. These rivals are moving, and they're powering up, but they're quick to say that they're not favorites. They're quick to say it's still City. They're being respectful. They're saying that we're the big dogs. They're coming after us. They're not taking on any of we are the better team and we should be winning. None of them are speaking that way. So it's gonna be an interesting one when we face one of the. Well, actually, we're facing Newcastle, but when it gets into like 6-7 games of the year, and we see how teams are shape up form wise, we're gonna have a good combo. We're gonna have a very good combo. Let me see what. Sorry, Dre goes. I don't think the Saudi League and I'll say this: they aren't doing anything different from what European leagues did to Brazil league. Fair enough, Argentina, etc. They historically go to Europe for the cash. Yeah, you're right. Nope, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. But then the combination. But now it's I know it's a modern era too. When they talk about like the best managers now, that'll be interesting to see whether we see exits going to the Saudi League. Yeah, that'd be curious to see. Curious to see that. Oh, I missed some comments earlier. My bad. 1 second. Mo goes. I think it'll end up being Chelsea next season that come for the throne. Okay. Arsenal will struggle with Champions League football. Yeah. Couldn't even deal with Europa. Yeah, they were trash. Like Arteta, as well as the players. Like I know they want to talk about their star boys, but none of them showed up in Europa. Whether they're going to do it this year, we'll have to see. I do agree. There's going to be a lot of questions that Arsenal are going to have to answer in Champions League. Chelsea, the fact that they don't play anything other than have to focus on league, they're going to be very threatening. That's not a bad shot, Mo. Dre, not just because I'm a rival, but United don't look any better this season. I see inconsistency again, and that's because their culture is entitled, impatient, and fussy. That's just my opinion. No, you're absolutely right. They're mighty. What are they? Mighty United. Mighty United. Like, listen. I said last year that I'm judging Ten Hag this year. Right? I'm judging him this year. It's only one game. I'm not gonna kill him, but I'm with you, Dre. I'm not nothing special yet. Nothing special yet. And they're spending. They've strengthened. We'll see. We'll see. Clinical. I hope this isn't KDB's last season at the club. Keeping my fingers crossed that it's not, but I have an odd feeling. I hope not as well. I hope not as well because I think with KDB's quality, I think his work rate can drop just a little bit. And I think another 2-3 years at the club would be great. I don't know how long his contract is. I'm not familiar with that right now. Lasielba, unpopular opinion. Playing Akanji as center back worries me. Akanji with Diaz doesn't worry me. Akanji as because again, let's be fair. Akanji was the central processor in the back line the last game. Like he is the one barking and dictating orders, right? So I think he can. I think he can be all right. I think he can be all right. But I would prefer if it was Vardiol or Ake. We got Diaz, Stones, and Akanji. If we had that back four, and obviously Stones moving up in the inverted role, that would be my back four. I agree. Right back, Akanji, right back. Dre P. Pep gets exhausted. I don't think they are as good as Pep because they aren't as involved as Pep when he complains of scheduling. I don't think it's only about the. Ooh, I agree. I agree because you know how intense he is with regards to the attention to detail, right? And he often not necessarily predicts, but says, "Listen, expect this from the players, and you see this movement, then do this, right?" And that's study. That's like knows his opponent. And I agree. Pep knows that the amount of time that he takes to do that in terms of rest as well as study doesn't bode well. So yeah, Dre, you're bang on, man. I think that the time gap or the days gap is not only for the players but with regards to the manager. I don't mind the Saudi League. I'll say this: they aren't. Oh yeah, I got that one already. Andrew, bro, Pep is already on a new tactic. They can't predict us. Rivals are just talking up now. Then later, it's just excuses. Andrew, I'm with you, man. Look how the rivals were talking last season. And we were telling them, listen, it's a long season. Relax. Nothing's happening until we get to March and April and May. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. Dre, I think Chelsea proved it's not just cash. Cucurella was Brighton's player of the year. He's not, yeah, ooh, good point. He's not suddenly bad. Sancho, a huge talent. He's still the same guy. It's where they go, the culture, the coach. You're bang on. Yo, Dre, you're killing it today. All right, let me go here. Let me do this. Vader game. All right. So I said this a little earlier, and I'm just gonna. I just want to make a point here. Don't let a remix happen with regards to money spent, because when it was back in the day, Arsenal winning times, Liverpool winning times, United winning times, Newcastle winning times. They were winning because they were also one of the biggest spenders, man. Okay. Obviously, you just don't spend the most and win. That's not how it works. But you have to spend competitively. You know, you have to be competitive with your spending to be in the mix. We're not going to allow any remixes. We're not going to allow Chelsea to be spending like the way they're spending. We're not going to allow Arsenal the way they've spent consistently since Arteta's been manager. We're not going to let any of that big spending go unnoticed or not talked about. The spending is clear. The money spent is a clear indicator on your pursuit for the title. Not to be top four, not to be, uh, not to be challengers. Listen, you can't outspend everyone and say you're just trying to challenge. No, you're outspending everyone because you want to be the number one. Come on now. Let's not remix. Let's not be lazy. I think the spend, it's the intent from Arsenal. It's clear. They fell short last season. Many believe because of injury. They're going for it. And a lot of them want to go for it and try to get this dub over Pep. They want to win a title while Pep is here. And you know what? Pep's going to be here 10 years. You know what I mean? So, but they want to go and get him. I'm not going to allow any of these rivals to be spending the way they're spending and just claim that they're just going to be competing. All right. I do want to see us. I do want to see Manchester City get into that spending bag a little more. Right. Obviously, we don't spend the way we used to. We don't need to, man. We grow our own groceries. We got excellent vegetables, excellent fruits. I mean, our academy is great. We're able to sell players and use those profits to get some additional talent. But we do need to strengthen with the loss of Gundogan, with the injury to KDB. We need to go out and secure and strengthen. So let's do that. Got 2 weeks to do it and go for this 4P. We're favorites anyways. Let's go and get it. Let's be responsible though. Let's not just go and splash the cash to win this year. Let's win with long-term vision to continue to have the players that we do get to maybe push on for 2-3 years and move forward. So let's make sure we not necessarily match, but keep up with how some of our rivals are spending to get us. And I have to say this, please support the channel. CIA Intelligent Agenda. Sorry for me being all over the place. I'm actually starting to really feel it in my leg right now. I'm in between of pain meds, so it's getting a little uncomfortable. But CIA Intelligent Agendas. The agendas are forming. Eric Ten Hag, year 2, right? Arteta, quote unquote one injury costing him from winning the league last season. Led the league 93% of the year. Was it a flash in the pan? United, Eric Ten Hag, the man that said that eras come to an end. Carabao Cup winners. Man that basically said that he was going to stop Manchester City from winning the treble. Clown. So there's going to be a lot to really focus on, and then it's going to be the managers facing each other, right? There's such a great carousel of managers in the league right now. You know, Eddie Howe, Arteta, Emery, Poch is back. You know, Poch is back over at Chelsea. There's going to be so much. So we're going to be forming some quality agendas that we're going to continue to revisit. If you happen to hear of fans claiming to have the best squad, best 11, best defense, best attack, we're going to put that under scrutiny. We're going to break it down on CIA. All right. I'm not going to claim to have the best. I mean, I've been winning. I've been winning regularly. 3-peat, 5 and 6. But Zagazao. But I'm gonna say that. Sorry. But I'm gonna say that we have the experience, and it's going to be accomplishing something that's never been done before. 4-peat. It's gonna be magical. It's gonna be special. I want to shout out all of you in the comments, and this is a late show. I had to do it because timing wise made sense. I'm going to and please let me know in the comments, even if the stream ends though, and you're just leaving comments post and you're watching this on a replay. Let me know generally when you kind of like are freest when you're watching. Because I want to flirt around with different show times and kind of be able to have different times to interact with all of you. And now that I'm dealing with this little recovery time, I have a little more flexibility. So I want to be able to maybe do things a little different going forward. So let me know in the comments, even after stream, what times you're kind of like freest, you like to watch your YouTube content, and we're gonna be back with another show. It might be you know what? It's funny. There hasn't been any announcements with regards to new ownership with regards to Manchester United. I was going to do a Citizens Neighborhood Watch with regards to that, but I'm gonna postpone that for a bit. Maybe I'll do another Why Always Me. Might do a Why Always Me on Sunday or a CIA on Sunday if the crew can get together. Because again, I like doing that show with 3, 4, 5 other city members, and we just tackle these rivals. You know what I mean? So it'd be great to do that on Sunday, and I'll keep you posted. Again, I'm recovering from the surgery. I have to balance things between pain meds and just being coherent and smooth with the show. Let me see these comments I may have spent. My bad. Dre P goes, good point on spending. It's also obvious when building a business. You spend more in the beginning and profit later. Dre, that's just it, man. If you're coming into the market, and let's say, I don't recommend you doing this, but let's say you're trying to go into the market and you want to compete with McDonald's. You think you're just gonna spend like a mom and pops? No, you're gonna have to spend big with someone that's established like a McDonald's, right? Like that's they've been in the game for a long time. They've been successful. They've been known. So to really have an impact, you gotta go big. You gotta go a little. You may even have to spend more than them in that first year with regards to awareness, recognition, and things of that nature. Andrew, Chelsea last super squad was 2019. I know it was Lampard, but yeah, true. Lampard was the manager at that time. But teams have settled, and if Poch gets 7 or 8, mhm. I think Poch is going to be dangerous. I think Poch is going to be dangerous. The fact that he's getting young players too, um, yeah, he's going to be a problem. Tuchel's a fraud. Tuchel's a fraud. That's why he's out of here. That's why he's out of here. We'll see what happens with him and Harry Kane out in Bayern. DC goes, hi Vader, so great to see you back. Hope you're well. DC, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm better now. If you can catch the earlier part in the show, I kind of let you know what's going. I don't know if I'll be able to edit the beginning, because I get my mic wasn't working, but is really brief. Hope you guys kind of fast forward and catch it. Andrew, those are the things. That's why Pep isn't going anywhere, because rivals improving, and he loves a challenge. I think so too. I think he also loves because he also talks about it like he's trying to almost perfect the synchronism between players, right? And again, the Pep effect, they kind of talk about an orchestra, and a maestro that wants, everything to kind of play in unison and in flow. And it's often like that, especially like they want to talk about our control, like control football. Everyone kind of has to move on a string, right? Everyone has to kind of like be in unison, and then if you can't necessarily have someone bombing forward on their own, because there's then a gap behind that player and the remaining team. So Pep loves the challenge, man. Pep loves the challenge, and he at the same time, if it happens to be you're better than him on the day, I'm not giving up. Let's go at it again. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Great season upcoming, and and we've got a new unique trophy in the cabinet. That Super Cup. I'm so happy for it. I'm debating whether I get the away kit. I'm debating. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that next show. DC, Pep will stay longer than just the 2 years on his contract. What he has at City, he won't find that anywhere else. DC, listen. I'm with you on that. DC, I'm with you on that. Pep knows the landscape. Pep knows what world football is all about. I think they got something cooking, and yeah, he's gonna extend that contract. Ooh, Mogo's third kit. All right. Well, definitely post game day. I'm gonna be kitted up. I'm gonna make sure I wear that. I want to also point out that we're going to address obviously all things City. I just bring my personal touch with it. It's more of a conversation. I thank you guys all the time. I'm gonna be addressing a little more of the rival talk on CIA, and then and get back into it. But it's been a long time. I'm like genuinely, I missed you guys, and I missed just talking in front of the camera and hearing what you guys had to say team wise and everything. So I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for the little bit of like being patient with me at the beginning, a little bit of technical issues. But we will be back. I hope to get some of the guest panels: Gundalorian, Mancunian Way, True City Fan, Klilnical, Don Smoke. I gotta get Coletso, Hamza. I gotta get those guys on here. Adam as well. Like we gotta do our thing. But love as always. And again, for all of you that sent those direct messages, reaching out, very much appreciated. And thanks for being patient with me. DC, we're here anytime you want to come back. DC, thanks so much. Have a great night. Bless and stay healthy. All right? Stay healthy. Love Invader Games. This was Why Always Me, episode 88. And we'll be back real soon, most likely on Sunday. Catch y'all. Bye.